It's crazy what ladies are doing just for hair. Just for hair. The new iPhone and all of that. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to be here again. I don't know if I hear my voice and my breathing is kind of somehow. That's because I've not been feeling too well, but I decided to still show up here. So today we'll be talking about delayed gratification. I'll just quickly define it for people that don't know or are not really sure what delayed gratification is. So I'll just quickly go into that. So what is delayed gratification? Delayed gratification is the ability to resist an immediate reward, pleasure, or satisfaction in order to gain a better or greater reward later. It is basically choosing long-term benefit over short-term pleasure. It is strongly linked to self-control, discipline, patience, and goal achievement. People who master it often do better in areas like education, finances, health, and personal growth because they can prioritize future gains over instant enjoyment. So I'll just stop here and go into the detail of the video. So this video is almost like a continuation or a part of the previous video, the last video I recorded. If you've not watched that, please go and watch it. I talked about begging and beggars, right? So but today talking about delayed gratification, and I've already defined it, right? So I quickly just share a story. I started learning about delayed gratification over 5 years or more. Yeah, over 5 years now. I learned it from my friend Faith. I really wanted her to be here so that we'll talk about it together because I learned that from her. She has lived it, she's still living it all of her life, you know. And I'm really glad our paths crossed as at when it did because I learned a lot from her, you know. So let me just quickly talk about Faith. Faith is my friend. We kind of grew up together. We've been friends for over 10 years now. So Faith has always been a hard worker. She was working that time. They were paying her, I think, 13,000 naira. This is like my favorite story. I always tell everybody around me 13,000, but she was working at 2 different places, you know, and still doing like businesses by the side. And that was how Faith was able to save up 80,000 naira to buy a land, and she was able to build herself a self-contained flat. Self-contained is like a room, parlor, kitchen, and then still with some outside space. She was not up to 30 at the time, right? I think she'll be 30 this year. She was just in her 20s, maybe mid-20s at the time, you know, and it inspired me greatly. Faith has always been hardworking, so she always had money. Really, she had the money to do whatever she wanted. But Faith, if you see her on the way, I'm not saying she shouldn't look good now, but like when you see her, you can't judge how much she has by her look. It's not possible. And I saw it somewhere. I think somebody said if they can tell how much you have just by looking at you, then there is a problem. And this is why I want to talk about delayed gratification. Faith was able to do all of that. Faith, the beauty industry is doing a lot right now, pushing out a lot of must-have, you know, and a lot of young people like me are buying into it. It's not bad, but if you want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, if you want to be rich, wealthy, there are some sacrifices you actually have to make, you know. Truth is, delayed gratification is one of the things that will help you get up there and make sure that you maintain being at a certain level and keep growing, because no matter how much money you make, if you do not master the act of saying no, if you do not master the act of delayed gratification, you go back. You go back. A lot of rich people that I know around me, you know, that worked for their money, they don't spend anyhow. No, they don't, sir. Truly, they don't, right? So even if you have the money, delayed gratification will help you be wealthy, will help you maintain the money. We've seen several people that were once rich and today, so delayed gratification, you're looking at the future. You're looking at, what am I forfeiting today for tomorrow? What am I saying no to now so that I can enjoy better tomorrow? Especially young ladies, we want the best hairs, human hair, good clothes. Another saying that's helped me is, because you can doesn't mean you should, right? Even if you have the money, you can decide not to tune your, should I call it, emotions now, to the point where you can actually say no or yes, not allowing society dictate what is trending to you or not. It's crazy what ladies are doing just for hair, the new iPhone and all of that. I remembered when it was BlackBerry that was trending, and iPhone 17 is coming out soon. 16 came out when? If you have the money, by all means. But even if you have the money, don't allow these things have your life. I feel like it's too choking, because at the core of it, why? And there's a problem when your entire happiness depends on all of these things. It should add to it, not depend on these things, right? And generally in life, there are also times where you have plenty, and then there are times where seasons can just be dry. It requires wisdom to plan for all of this. I don't want to talk too much. I hope that you've learned something from all of this talk. If you've not remembered anything I've said so far, please learn to practice delayed gratification. Learn to practice it. It will help you. Thank you, and see you next time. I hope that by the next video, I am way better and I'm able to talk freely without pains. But yeah, thank you so much for staying up at this moment. Until next time, bye. Someone said he likes this my signature dance, so yeah, bye.